Hi everybody and welcome to this week's video. So in this video I've been out and about doing some urban photography but really looking for the details. So despite me doing the videoing for this in my apartment, don't worry, this is not a talking heads video. Interspersed with this, I will also include a lot of the photos that I've taken over the last 2 or 3 days where, as I said, I've been looking for the details in urban photography and also looking for things that are more abstract. So for this type of photography, there are a few things that I'm looking for. Firstly is something maybe a little bit more abstract. I'm also looking for things like textures and combination of textures as well. And the other thing that I'm looking for would be colors. Now, either colors that stand out on their own or strong combinations of colors. And because I'm also looking for reflections, then I always take something with me as well for the front of my lens, and that's something that I'm going to talk about in a minute. So with this type of close-up urban photography, looking for the details, I'm also going to be making use of things like reflections. Now for that reason, I shall be putting this polarizing filter on my lens. So obviously with this on, it's going to reduce the amount of reflections I get in the shot. Now I mentioned in a previous video that this polarizing filter was actually for my 24-200 zoom lens, which I traded in. See previous video for details. But I've managed to repurpose it for 50mm by using a step-up ring. Now, my advice, if you are going to ever buy a step-up ring, is always invest the extra money for a brass ring. Now, this one's from Nissi, because the polarizing filter is also from Nissi. And when I was doing the research, I found that a lot of people were having problems with an aluminium step-up ring because the HD filter or polarizing filter is also aluminium. And when people were turning it and putting it on, they had problems getting it off because the two metals, the two aluminiums were coming together, and they were having to buy a wrench to enable them to remove the polarizing filter or the HD filter. So I would say spend the extra money on brass. Brass and aluminium fit together perfectly and they won't get stuck. Yes, it's more expensive, but not as expensive as buying an aluminium version and then having to buy a wrench to remove it. So the key to success with this type of photography is to go out there absolutely determined to observe anything that is going on. Make sure you just kind of keep your head on a swivel, look around you at all times for the photo opportunity. Firstly, that means having your camera out, hence why I bought a strap for my camera so I can kind of carry it around. Not always around my neck, but sometimes I twist the strap around my arm and keep it around there. It's going to be no good to you if it's sitting in your camera bag. But observation, looking for things that may work as a photo. Now, when I first started doing photography, I was pretty bad at this. I'd go out, take my camera out and think, oh, there's nothing to photograph. But that's because I wasn't really observing what was going on. So now I go out with the mindset of looking at a scene and thinking, what would happen if I took a photo of this? For me, the other important aspect for this is to know my editing skills. So I've spoken about this before, firstly because I have a set of presets that I've created based on my other photography work. So when I'm out in the field, I'm really thinking about how would this work with one of my presets. I also go out with the mindset of whether it's going to work in color or black and white. And on this type of photography, as you'll see from the photos today, I've taken some in black and white, some in color. So once you improve your editing skills, then it will give you more confidence as well when you're looking for shots to think, yes, okay, it doesn't look perfect now in camera. Maybe it's 95% of the way, but in editing, I know that actually I can get the extra 5% and I can make sure that this shot is elevated from good to really good. So one of the big benefits with this type of photography is it is way more relaxing than street photography. So everything that I've taken in the last few days has been of static objects. So what that means is I can really take my time, start experimenting with different settings on the camera to get the look in camera that I want without having to just kind of instantly react. Now, having said that, it doesn't mean to say that I kind of put my camera away after every shot. I still keep my camera on me because, you know, I'm more likely to take a photo if it's actually in my hand. And I just find it easier to then take the risk of taking that shot. If I have to get the camera out of the bag, etc., yes, it means that I'm thinking more as to whether this is going to be worth it from a shot. But actually, from my experience, and with digital technology, it's even easier. It's better just to take the shot, and then you can always delete it when you get back into Lightroom. So I think it's always good to experiment with different types of photography, no matter what genre of photography that you're doing. As always, thank you for watching and see you next time.